are now in the presence of a king.
I swear to you, that is still my favorite intro. I love that. I love that beat, that music. All right, guys, we are back. Unfortunately, a few members could not make it tonight, so we got to press on. I've got the main squad for the Cosmic Portal with me, of course. I called her number one because in our Star Trek group, she is my number one. She is my first officer, Captain Xena. And then, of course, the main man, Mr. DC Reviewer, my side on Capes and Cases, which will be debuting at Blood in the Water. We will actually be walking around there interviewing. We'll have our table up, but we'll be interviewing, talking to people, pushing out the interviews and doing live from Blood in the Water. So I'm very excited to let you guys know about that. But yesterday was March 1st, ending Black History Month. And I don't know if you've been watching my page, but like I tell you, you can't hold me to no 1 month. I'm not with that. I'm not even going to attempt that. So here on the Blerds, we thought we'd do something a little bit different. Vonda had came up with something uh, I thought was very uniquely different for us because we always talk about the shows with the uh, black people in Hollywood. This no. Television. Television was created in the 20s, started really rolling out stuff in the 30s, and one of the first shows, unfortunately, uh, stereotypical role. Ethel Walters became the first black person to star in a TV show, The Ethel Walters Show, and it later became something else in the 50s, and we're going to get to that when we get to that. But she was the first person on TV, black person on TV, and that was again. Let me see, 1939.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's often been said when we do these sort of things, people they always ask me about that. They'll be like, "Well, how do you pick your shows when you do this?" I said, "Well, it's not uh, particularly that." Uh, there we go. Let's see if I can get this all together. Uh-oh. I guess I can't. I don't know how I did this last time. Oh man, I was trying to show you guys the shows that I had picked up, but I'm not going to be able to do it this time for some reason. I don't know why. It's not doing it. Okay. That'll loop it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about some of the shows. So we know about the first show, right? So again, she's the first black person on TV, which later became Beulah in the 50s. Okay,
Oh,
got a show. Okay. 1948 to 1949, I have a thing called Amanda, which she was a singer and sang and hosted this daytime series. It only had 6 episodes.
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Um, then there was another one, Simon Lightfoot. So he was mixed with Native American. It was a religious elder Mitch or Mitch Fox, something like that. Uh, it was a religious show, and it went from 1948 to 1949. Doesn't tell me how many episodes. And then there was the Sugar Hill Times, which 1949, 5 episodes, all black musical variety show. Oh,
Right.
it gets better. The Hazel Scott Show, 1950. We're in the 50s. 5 episodes. A musical series. Now, here we go. Beulah. 1955 to 1953. We got 79 episodes. The misadventures of a maid named Beulah. So if we still weren't singing, shucking, and jiving and playing stereotypical roles, we weren't being seen. Now, again, you have to remember the time. Just to have a black face on TV like that was, you know, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
Stairway to Stardom TV show, a local variety series notable among the first African American host, Mr. Bill Cook. And now here's something, and this was 1950 to 1951. Now here's the show that I'm pretty sure that mostly everybody's going to be familiar with: Amos and Andy.
Yes. Yeah.
78 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. So Beulah still had more than this show, but it has a better star rating, Amos and Andy, of course, because we're just poor black people shucking and jiving. Da, da, da,
Just
da.
shucking and driving. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have the Billy Daniels Show, 1952, 2 episodes.
Oh wow. I've never even heard of that one. So.
I haven't heard of it either. And then we have Mr. Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
Wrote him down.
All right. 53 episodes from 56 to 57.
Okay.
So now again, in the 60s, which we'll discuss 60s and 70s next week, that's where the real meat of us really taking off starts.
True.
But these people are the unsung heroes and the step ladders to today's shows, to today's uh, comedians and black variety shows, Soul Train, uh, you know. And it's kind of funny. And I really hate bringing this up, but UPN was a station that toted Star Trek,
Yep.
but was black owned. And
Yeah.
when they made it big time and made it grow and had it popular, they were bought out.
Yes.
And the network went down the tubes.
Yeah, because you got Moesha up there. You had a bunch of black television shows during that time as well that were really popular and hitting at that time too.
Voyager was on that network.
It was.
Yeah.
That was their big. That was their big
Yeah.
push too.
Yeah.
That was their big push. Yes, yes, it was. BET was black owned at
Was.
one time
Was.
and then got bought out and now is in the crapper.
Yeah, true.
I just, you know what I mean? It I look at some of these shows and, you know, I'm like, wow, you have to remember the time. And for me, I'm not embarrassed. I'm proud of these pioneers because of what they probably had to go through day in and day out on the set, because you know they weren't no black directors doing any of this.
No.
You know what I mean? And can you imagine someone saying, "Hey, I need you to act a little bit more, you know, like your people, you know, come on, you know." I can imagine that. You know what I mean?
So I did
Um.
do some research as well on that because
Uh-oh. Go ahead. Hit
remember,
me.
all right, so first it started off with blackface. So that was the worst. I found a TV show or something I showed Vonda earlier was Bing Crosby in blackface. He actually had a it was still directed by a white person, but he had a black person on set as a consultant for his blackface stuff that he was doing. And I was like, so Vonda was like, I had my headphones and I'm watching it and I'm just like, hmm. And she was like, why you keep saying that? And then I showed it to her and I was like, oh yeah, this is bad. Then there were cartoons because I know you didn't mention any cartoons that were made.
Yeah, you know.
The cartoons were horrible,
Yeah.
because they showed us in the worst possible light.
That one show.
It was, what was it called? It was
my God.
Lazy
Moscow?
Town. They
Oh.
were going to Lazy Town.
They're going to Lazy Town.
Lazy Town. Everybody's there and they're smacking each other. Then a beautiful woman gets off the boat. Then they start moving better. And then the one little kid is going to hunt a rabbit, and he's dragging along his gun, and he's like, doing that drawl of how slow we talk. And he was like, "There's rabbit tracks," and I'm like, "Oh my god, this was
I
not
saw
meant."
that. I
Yeah,
saw that. And they did the whole thing with
the
the white
lip.
lid. Yeah.
Yes,
And
so
and
different.
that's you know what? I kind of wish Zoe was here because that's what they did in Dragon Balls with Mr. Popo.
They did. They sure did.
I saw that, man. I said, so he's black, he's Mr. Popo,
Yeah,
and you put this, come on, man.
that was
You know what I
horrible.
mean? But I noticed that Dragon Ball Z didn't make no Mr. Popo figures.
No, they sure
Yeah,
did.
yeah, you know what I mean? And it's in this day and age, and I hate to be the one to kind of do this. Well, I'm lying. I love doing this. I have a book coming out that is very Afrocentric. Uh, I've always said if you don't like the characters, I don't want to change certain characters. And I've always said that DC to me has been predominantly a white man's club.
It
You know
is.
what I mean? And then you have certain characters of color. Um, of course, you have The Rock playing Black Adam, where you think he's like these Egyptians thing, and it killed me because when you look up the origins of Black Adam, they gave him all the negative Egyptian deities,
Yeah.
and all the Greek deities go to Captain Marvel. And I was kind of like, wow, that says a lot. You know what I mean? It really says a lot that you could do that. So don't get me wrong. Even though my book is Afrocentric, I do have some characters in there that are from the Norse end of town.
Okay.
But I always said, if you don't like what you see, create your own.
True.
Um, you have to get out there and start creating your own and doing better. But you know, these people were pioneers. I mean, 6 episodes, 5 episodes, 2 episodes, and to think what they must have went through. They probably couldn't walk through the front door. No, they couldn't walk through the front door. They had to come
True.
through the back door.
And then they got all their stuff stolen if they were
Yeah.
really good. And I want to show you a few people that I looked up. So,
Mm,
um,
hit it.
this, let's see, hold on. This is Stump and Stumpy. These guys were so good as a singing, tap dancing comic duo that Jerry Lewis and Steve Martin stole some of their act from this group because of how good they were. They were so funny and so talented, as dancers as well, just as dancers, but then you add the singing and you add the comedy into it. Of course, you've never seen them, you've probably never heard of them, but they are amazing that their act was stolen from, like I said, from other people. Then we have, this is
Uh-oh.
one that
Yeah.
I
Whoa.
Songs of the South. Okay, so this is 1946, 46, and Vonda did some research on this. I have the movie because it's still a Disney movie.
It's Disney.
It's a
It's
Disney movie,
Disney,
but
right?
he was not portrayed in a bad light. He was well respected throughout the neighborhood, so I give Disney their props for doing that. But it's still, when you look at it, because it's a tar baby, they actually mention that in the story, so it's got its moments. And what did you look up on this one?
Well, just basically that this is one of the movies that's been in the closed vault. Only reason why we have a copy of this is I think we were at a con and somebody, it's probably a knockoff of wherever they got it from, and we saw it and we were like, oh my goodness, let's go ahead and get it, and we got it. So it's just really sad that I think he won. I think he got a nomination. I don't think he won for this.
Yeah, he got a nomination. He
Yeah,
didn't win.
yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody knows Zippity Doo. I mean, and it's
Well,
just sad that this is in the closed vault.
It'll
That we
never
would
be.
never ever
well,
see
look,
a new copy of it.
they changed the ride at Disney.
They
Yeah.
did, because it was Splash Mountain or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Splash
It was Splash
So
Mountain.
now
And-
it's, what is it? The Princess and the Frog is what
yeah,
it is.
and see, and that kind of upset a lot of people. They're like, how dare you replace it with this movie that's no one's really caring about? And I was like, wow, uh, that's not very progressive of you.
True.
Things change.
Yep.
Things that are outdated like that do need to change because they're outdated.
Yeah.
Now there are certain things, and I know I'm going to get some heat for this. The Confederate flag on the General Lee.
I love that car though.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
that is one of the cars of cars. Hold
Yeah.
on, Wanda. Batmobile, Kit,
Yeah,
that car
it's supposed to be there.
jumping over the ramps and streams and bridges and what I personally, I don't want to see it waving in nobody's house,
But I'm good
but it's
with
on the
it right
roof on the car.
there.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm gonna get, but it's an iconic thing. Every Friday night, we're sitting there watching this
8
car
o'clock.
jump the creeks and all that stuff. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then, of course, we come out with this flag thing and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, I don't particularly feel that way. It's a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's like, what was it? I know I'm showing my age. 3 channels. One of them was, especially on Sunday, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom,
Yeah.
Lawrence Welk, and then, thank God, here comes Disney. Okay, that's how old I am. With the kaleidoscope on the. Oh, I should.
I was going to say, because you forgot Hee Haw. Remember Hee Haw?
Hee Haw, yes. But Hee Haw wasn't Hee Haw Saturday nights though.
It was I don't remember what day, but I remember watching it whatever day it was.
Because there was nothing else on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then I got Virginia, and you're getting channel 27. Woo, and that was nothing but westerns all damn day long.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have all that stuff, and I know things, like I said, things evolve, things change. I'm watching the world turn in this direction of you're being canceled if you say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also seeing a counterculture saying we're tired of you telling us what we can and can't say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to walk that fine line of where you're at. If you don't, you don't get views. Luckily for me, I just want to have my voice on the internet, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, don't care. No one's paying me. I don't get. See, I haven't even blurred out. I don't get paid for any endorsements or somebody. I don't care. I love the General Lee jumping over cars and that horn and the two.
Mhm.
I didn't like it when the two cousins came into town. No, I liked
Oh,
it.
I
Yeah,
stopped
I
watching
yeah,
at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
I didn't watch that.
But
And then
you
I
give me
love,
my go
was
ahead.
it Daisy Duke? Watching her go back and forth, which she
Yeah, well,
was.
I mean, come on. I mean, we were young men, and watching this girl in some tight little shorts walking around.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that's just like Linda Carter. I
Yeah.
don't know why I like watching her turn around and spin into Wonder Woman. Change into Wonder Woman, please. Change.
I never figured that out, or why I love to watch her run down the street. Yeah.
Yes, Lord. You know what I mean? Until this day, and she, as God is my witness, that is one fine older woman.
She
Good
is a
Lord, Miss
beautiful
Linda
woman.
Carter has her stuff together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
70 something and still hot.
Yeah.
yes, yes. I mean, it's just
She,
you see all these things, and again, I you have to pay uh, homage to the people that came before you because they paved this road. But this world that we're in now is so crazy. That's why when we don't, I give you guys the freedom to report on what you want to report. If Vonda said I want to do a show on Starfleet Academy, more power to you. It's not my cup of tea. You may do that. You know what I'm saying? Because Vonda says she's a Star Trek fan. She'll watch it from no matter how bad it is. She's going to watch it from the beginning to the very end. Me, on the other hand, I'm not wasting my time. I'm good, and I'll move on. Right? But if you're excited for it, let's do it. Talk about it. Maybe somebody will understand it a little bit better from your point of view. There might be something that you bring to it. I'm giving Discovery a second chance after what Vonda had me and her talked about it. You know what I mean? So that's a big win. But there are certain things like you, Mark, Wicked, have no interest, do not want to even no, can't do it. Can't do it. And then look, and I don't know what's going on with Miss Grande, but she's looking horrible.
oh
She's
yeah,
Good
lost so
Lord,
much.
man.
yeah. She
She's
is.
lost
know,
so much weight.
Yeah.
I'm just like, good girl, please, let me, you can take some of my fat and do what you
Actually,
need.
the other girl that's with her,
Yeah.
she has lost a lot of weight. The green girl here, she
Yeah.
is so small now.
Yeah.
It's
Ah,
sick to look at it.
yeah.
Like they look like they're suffering.
Well, like over the weekend, the Osbournes. Did anybody? I mean, I know they're.
Oh
Oh,
my God,
I know
was
they're
that
like.
really Kelly
Oh
Osbourne?
my God! Yes.
Oh, ooh.
Oh
Mm.
it was bad too.
yeah.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Look, I've just started gaining back weight, and for a while there, I kept losing it and losing it. I got kind of panicky. I'm like, when is this shit gonna stop? Because now I'm like, okay, let's stop gaining the weight. You know what you got to do. I'm just waiting for it to heat up a little bit so I can start hitting the gym because I do not. Wintertime for me is like, oh no, we're hibernating. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
I'll work out in the summertime. I'll take the sweat and the heat and whatever else. But wintertime, no.
Because I like to start walking the trail again if I can.
Yeah.
Mowing the grass. That's where I get my little thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But we've come a long way watching seeing some of these people
Yeah.
with
Because you
what
even
they've been
mentioned
doing.
because Nat
Yeah.
King Cole. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got him on my list too.
What were you gonna say?
He's
Well,
what is
he
it?
was the first to host a national TV show, and it was canceled due to sponsorship, which
Mm.
was kind of sad. Um, he just a pioneer with the singing voice.
The piano.
The piano, yeah, and it's I mean sponsorship. So basically, he couldn't get people to put money towards his show.
Because it was a black show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And he actually has been quoted to say that Madison Avenue is afraid of the dark. So we know what he's saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember too, and he wasn't that jukebox jiving.
No.
This is the level of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra. This is You know, Mona Lisa, Mona. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
this
each
is the
thing.
guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, seeing that kind of stuff still breaks my heart. It's just one of those things. Again, uh, it's like every morning when I talk to you guys and I say Dawn be with you. You know, it's that whole thing of, you know, you've lived to see another day.
Yeah.
You know, you got to thank those who came before you for giving you that this experience of waking up and going through it. Because, you know, just like in The Crow, it can't rain all the time. You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, but these are definitely dangerous times.
Yeah, and
Um,
they, like you said, they had so many good performers that didn't get a chance to really shine, especially on TV. The movies were censored. Like Lena Horne,
Yep.
whenever she
I
did a
got her
movie,
too.
she only
Lena
was
Horne.
never gonna play. She never played a slave or anything. So her section of movie, whenever she's in it, they had to cut it so when it played down south, they can cut her scene out so that you would just see the rest of the movie. So you didn't get a chance around here to see her perform. What were you gonna say about it?
Yeah, she was actually blacklisted for dealing with civil rights movement back in the day,
Mm.
because she was a beautiful woman,
Hmm.
musical, and she was a symbol of elegance. And of course, certain people didn't want to see that. And actually, along with her, she did a movie in 1943 called Stormy Weather.
Yep.
And the Nicholas brothers
And I
was
love them.
also, in that movie. And, they were known for flash dancing, jazz, tap, with Lena Horne, Cab Calloway, the Cotton Club in Harlem in 32. These were all pioneers that did the struggle for us. And there is still a struggle now because when we watch TV, you'll see shows where, maybe one black person is in it, and everybody else is white. But if it was flip around, oh my goodness, it was censored. And there was actually a show, I
Eartha
can't
Kitt. What do you
remember.
got about Eartha Kitt? Anybody says
Oh, you know
anything?
what? I started to write her down, and my daughter came over. So I
She
didn't
was
finish. I didn't finish with her.
but
Yeah,
she's really big in the '60s, and so I guess we can hit that
Well,
up.
say we got to say that because you know what I got for that one.
Right, but
yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna
That
say
that
for sure she
preemptive
did that.
that preemptive Star Trek thing that everybody. Ooh, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
got one
Yeah,
for you. I got
so
one for you. So
I was
I
gonna
cannot
say,
wait. Yeah, I can't wait for us to talk about those two things because those two things are very important to what we're talking about. And then, of course, you know, Miss because I'm. Oh God, we gotta wait until next time because
now
that's
you
not.
did mention the '50s, so I think what is it? Bill Cosby had I Spy. Wasn't that in the '50s?
Well, no, that was 65 to 68,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, never mind. I thought that
yeah.
meant
But
and his
again,
studio was 68.
that was another thing because we have to mention when you talk about I Spy with Bill Cosby, then you got Mission Impossible,
Mission
Yeah,
Impossible. Yeah,
Mod Squad.
Mod
yeah,
Squad, but that's still
So
'60s.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, and see, that's like I said, that's when we really start. Right here, we're in our infancy, where we're not really, we're trying to make a way for
yeah.
ourselves, and then in the '60s we start to get our little legs, and we're starting to be toddlers, and then in the '70s we're in our adolescence,
yeah,
Yeah,
especially with the language.
yeah.
'80s, we're getting stronger, you know what I mean, and now
the '90s, we just like took over everything just about.
you could not even. The bad thing is, I see how now we're just, now
We're
we're
starting all
just
over.
being neutered. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we're
Yeah,
yeah,
starting
we're
all over.
being neutered,
Yeah,
and every black strong lead now is effeminate.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that it just kills me because I don't have any. The closest thing, Michael Jai White. He's getting older, and now he's doing a lot of the Tyler Perry stuff, and I don't see any more action movies for him. You know what I mean? Um, who else? There is really nobody else.
Yeah,
And
because
even look at where our music at now. You know,
well, music sucks.
Oh,
I mean, music. I
oh,
mean,
I don't.
if you go to any club, you know, we're on a cruise, they mostly play, you know,
80s.
yeah.
Hmm.
And now it's like, oh my goodness, I'm doing what I blame my parents doing. You know, I'm listening to the 80s, the 90s. I don't even know who's popular now. You know, and there's
Oh, I
really
have no
no
clue.
big black person that's big. You know, the rap is practically gone. You know, the dance style, you know, that cookout song that you
Oh
always hear every
man,
time you go to a cookout, and
come on.
everybody's dancing.
Come on, we all got up. We got up for summertime, electric
Yep.
Yes,
slide. You got up for these things, and now, I don't want to do any WAPs and all this other stuff and
Yeah.
Cardi B's and all. Then get that trash out of here.
true.
Don't even want to deal with it.
But the
It's
word,
just
they don't even say words in music anymore. You
all
know.
that, dude. What was it? Back in like 2016, 2017, all that mumble rap stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I walked in the break room. There was a bunch of young guys in there, and they were listening to that stuff. And I said, "That's not real music." And I played some music, and they were like, "Oh, come on, man, you too old for that." I said, "Really? But yet you want to sit around here with that hiba haba huba hiba haba kaba
Yeah.
huda? You have no lyrical skills at all. You guys are just making words up that sound alike, and then you mumble and push them all together."
Yeah.
True.
I
I
said,
mean, like you were just saying, when Nat King Cole there, think about how clear his music was,
mm,
Hmm.
and he performed in French too, right? I
Yeah,
know
I
he
think
I
performed.
so.
think so.
I think
He
so.
performed in other languages, so when people in other countries heard him, they heard him sing in their language. So that's why he was as popular as he was. So yeah,
It's
I
just
don't get it. You
it's
know.
just amazing. It's just amazing how you have these things. And excuse me, I think we got to the point where we've thrown it all away. We don't have any real artists and stuff like that anymore. We don't have any princes. We don't have any kings of pop. We don't have anybody that's really trying to, and what makes me even madder was when the self-conscious movement arose with Public Enemy,
Oh wow,
X
fear
Clan.
of a black
I
planet.
didn't want to hear none of that. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want. I just wanted to party and have fun and
That was
drive
back
around
in,
and act stupid.
yeah,
And
NWA when they were
yes,
doing,
Yeah.
you know what I
or
mean.
Ice Cube. You know, I'm thinking they were hardcore. And I listened to a little bit of it, but not to the point where, yeah, I should
No,
have.
whatever was
Yeah.
popular and bumping, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whatever was
that was
popular and
pretty much
bumping,
it. Yeah,
which was sad. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it just gets to the point now where you sit back and go, "Wow, I should have paid attention."
yeah.
I wish I
It
would have
was
paid
important.
attention.
It was
You
very
know,
important.
yeah, it was very important. And you pass down certain things to your kids, like you give them the talk about, hey, when you get pulled over, this is what you got to do. You have to do this because I need you to come home safe.
Yes,
You
Yeah.
know, and anytime that I hear somebody says there's no such thing as white privilege, I always go, have you ever had to talk with your son? What talk?
yeah,
That's the privilege you have.
Yeah.
So I don't. Then I shut the conversation down. Don't want to hear it
yep,
because again, we watch these things develop. We watch these shows, these people develop, and now we're in a situation where we don't have any real action stars. We don't have any real, you know what I mean? None of
they've
that
all
stuff.
gotten older,
You
like
know?
you said. I can't
Yeah.
even think of one action star.
No.
Like you said, like I love Michael Jai White for his older stuff. Um, Wesley
As this
Snipes.
album,
Yeah,
remember, I discovered him on Luther. Now
oh,
he was in some other stuff that I didn't even recognize him in, but we were thumbing through British police shows.
right. I remember that
That's
show
how
too.
I
Yeah,
found him, right? That's how I found him. And then
I
all of a
think
sudden it seemed like
he's one hell of a sexy man. Let's go ahead and throw that out there.
look, you can't
I call him Gucci
Arthur, you
Mane
can't
pretty
stop that.
often.
Look, you can't look. I give it to you. The brother, he's the black Superman. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So and then of course he was in Star Trek. the last Star
Yep.
Trek movie, as the captain of the ship and everything else. And
Remember
I love for him to do that. I loved him in was that the Hobbs movie?
Hobbs and Shaw?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
right?
Hobbs
Because
and
that's
Shaw.
when he
Yeah,
said, yeah,
That was,
that's when he
yeah,
said he
that's
was the Black Superman and he was
yeah.
kicking, But these people they're getting to the point where they're not going to be able to do this, and we have no action stars.
That's coming
You
up
know,
behind him.
yeah.
we had Carl Weathers back in the day. Bill Duke. You know, who else that was? I mean, just
Shaft. Remember Shaft was
Wesley
in
Snipes.
Yeah.
Foxy Brown when we're going
Oh
back
my
over.
God,
Yeah,
Jackie
yeah,
Brown. Oh my
yeah,
God,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I mean, just
love what is it? Pam Grier. I didn't
yeah,
Pam
realize how
Grier.
beautiful she was
yeah.
till I got older. And I'm like, man, she was so beautiful back then.
My dad loved those type of movies, and whenever time those movies came on, uh, you know, after a while for me, I was kind of like, all right, I'm bored,
Yeah,
because they would always have like a sex talk scene or something. I'm like, if there ain't no cars, squealing wheels, and shooting, I'm out.
because I
But
didn't
like you
even
said,
enjoy
when
it.
you're older,
I
you're
didn't,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
because I didn't enjoy it at all till I was older.
Older.
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I never realized.
Yeah.
Like I still probably, I think this is 70s, but Blackula. Remember when that came out?
oh my God, look,
Yeah, I think it was early 70s.
you know that dude was on Star Trek, right?
Yes,
Yes, he
yes.
was the doctor.
Yes.
Yeah,
M5.
yeah,
No,
Yeah.
the M5. Remember the
yeah.
M5? They laughed at it. Me and Bishop joke about that the whole time because and the terminology in those movies.
Yes. I love that movie though, Blackula. And
Look, we're gonna have to.
Scream, Blackula Scream, the part
Oh
two to
my
that.
God, man!
I have both of those because I fell in love with that as a kid and just continued. And again, the women in that were so beautiful when you looked at them now. I'm like, they were beautiful women and
Yeah,
they didn't do all that dumb stuff that you get. So I really enjoyed those.
man, I'm telling you, it. My love now for black cinema. You know, um, I the whole Spike Lee joints, the you know, and it was always for the music and the comedy aspect of what was going on, and then all of a sudden you get some wake up, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why are you trying to what you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And now as I get older, I sit back, oh, that's what he meant.
yeah. That was
You
a good.
know,
I've watched
well,
everyone. What was it? Mo Better Blues.
yeah,
That wasn't too bad with Wesley Snipes again and
yeah,
Denzel Washington.
and Denzel, yeah.
So that was
Remember, he
good.
was our action star for a while. Denzel was the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But what does he win his first award for?
Training Day.
Training Day for being
Being a crooked cop.
a crooked cop.
Yep.
All the other stuff
But
he
what,
did,
not for
Glory.
I was going to
Yeah.
say not for glory. That's the one he should have won
Yeah,
for.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
no, he wins for this crooked cop.
So you know what I mean. Again,
And then
it's just
even if you said that, think about what Haley Berry won her award for.
Yeah, that's true. What was
She had sex with Billy Bob Thornton.
Bob Thornton.
yeah.
That's how she wins an award. Nothing
Yeah.
else she's done but having sex with Billy Bob Thornton.
I get so frustrated. You know what I mean? Because we don't see enough stuff. So it's very important for me to be at AtlantaCon this year and see some of these artists, some of these creators of the content, because I would love to keep shouting them out year round.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, and really promote some positivity on our end, because again, just talking about a lot of this stuff gets you thinking, and I'm hoping that one day we'll get a little bit more of a less demeaning role, because I can tell you now, I can remember a time where when they talked about the black guy entering the room, everybody else got quiet.
Yeah.
If you had to get past something, it's usually a brother at the end of that hallway, and you're like, damn, I gotta go through this dude. Now they come out in skirts and stuff and twitching and it you know what I mean. I'm just like you give me this and I'm supposed to accept it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm not accepting that. Where are the badasses? You know, you can call it toxic masculinity all you want to. I'm old school.
Yeah.
I don't play none of that. You know what I mean? I want a strong lead male, black male, to go in, kick ass, blow shit up, get the girl, save the day, and drive off into the sunset until he's too old to do it again, like in Rambo, gets his butt beat, gets patched up.
Or every expendable movie, right?
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
we've seen all those.
It just doesn't we don't have that, you know, and they keep saying that there are no more great American actors, and that's why they're getting all these British actors. I say you pluck some of these young kids coming out of some of these schools and you make them
Yeah.
stars.
There's people that train all the
Yeah,
time, and yet I've not seen. I'm going to say that I've not seen a really good um, karate movie recently,
yeah,
or because I
I
love
can't even.
old school karate. I've not seen anything like that. I've not seen a good action movie that anybody is younger than 50
Yeah.
yeah.
as the main character. You know?
And we look, they got Arnold on Netflix, Fubar. Him and his daughter are doing missions and stuff. And I'm just like, I get it. You don't think that there are people, but grab somebody young. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to be from Twilight or anything else. Although the Batman, it surprised me. I ain't even gonna lie.
It's a good
It
movie.
surprised me. It
Yeah.
surprised me. It surprised me. And then the Penguin blew me away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get some people, man, and make them stars. I don't understand, why you can't do this. It doesn't make any sense to me that you can't find an American guy that's handsome enough, and I don't care if he's white or not. Just get me some Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Henry Cavill to death, but I would love to see an American play Superman.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they look for that.
Well, the,
You know what
the new guy, David Cornstalk,
I
he
mean?
is American.
Is he?
Yes, he's from New
I
Jersey.
mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he?
He is American. He's
Yeah.
100%
Yeah, look.
American.
Yeah, I agree.
Still
I
American.
agree. I agree.
And
Nah.
he's still American.
No,
He wasn't
look.
watching it the other day, and I walked in the room, and I was like, I don't want to see this.
I
Look,
do.
I'm sorry. Give me the
I'm gonna
okay.
watch.
Then give me the Brit back. If that's my choice between that and I'll take the Brit. I'll take
Yeah,
the Brit.
even like you were saying with Paramount Plus winning the bid, um, I I don't want to see Henry Cavill back as Superman. He's too old.
How old is he?
He's in his 40s, his mid to late 40s. So I want somebody younger to start over again. If you're going to start over, let's start over with somebody young and let's build a story.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because they know they have a fan base that is so ravenous
He's
that
only
they've
42.
done all this
He's
campaigning
only 42.
and doing all.
Yeah, I mean, they can stick with David because David is in his
No, we
he's
don't
in his
want to see
30s,
David.
No, I'm
but
sorry.
you're gonna get
I'm
the
sorry.
story.
It's
He's
just
only 42.
it's just
He's
his.
too old.
He's yeah, I think he can still pull it off. In my
Yes.
thing was you gave me an old Batman at the end of his rope. I was a little disappointed about. I get it. You give me the Batman from Batman Returns.
Yes,
You
but
know what I
you
mean?
didn't need
Dark
to
Knight
do
Strikes
that.
Again.
They needed to go
Okay,
with the
but
same age Batman.
you know what I mean? I thought that, I'm like, but my Batman is at the end, pretty soon he's gonna need that skeleton to walk around.
True.
Because he ain't gonna be able to hang with that, you know what I mean? But again, folks, do not, and I am saying this as a fan of the Snyderverse, do not get your hopes up, because Ben Affleck is still off doing whatever he's doing. Henry Cavill's got Highlander, Voltron, and some other project, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he said yes,
It's years.
I think the success of Highlander, Warhammer, I don't know if Voltron's going to do any well, but I
don't
think
know if
those
they can
things
do
were going to keep him. I think they're going to keep him well out of the Snyder range. That's not me hating. That's just me thinking money wise.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about buying the rights to The Witcher.
So he can finish that himself.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you'll see him back, Mark. I don't think you'll see him back anyway.
I don't think you're going to
And
get
look,
back as well.
after after 2027, um, whatchamacallit is done. I don't care what you think or say. He is done. James Gunn is done at DC because of who won the bidding war.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Everybody's about to lose their job again, and somebody else is going
Yeah,
to start
but
over.
at least he'll get his movies out though.
Yeah,
He's got time to push his movies out.
yeah. So he's only
We
going to
may
get
not
part
get to
two.
see better.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
get
he's
part
gonna get. We're
two.
gonna get Mana tomorrow. We're gonna get
Yeah,
Mana tomorrow. So at least he'll get his movie out.
yeah. So
But
that's it.
yeah, it's done. It's pretty much a wrap. And everybody, oh no, it's not. Yeah, it is.
That's what I was thinking. As
Just
soon
look
as
at the
I
Henry.
saw that,
Yeah,
he was going to get
yeah. And look, that's why I say that Star Trek is in jeopardy because they're looking for a more male centric universe now because of who bought the company.
Yeah,
Academy was already filming before. Oh, it got greenlit. It's been greenlit. The moment they finished season one, they went straight into production. Rumor has it that they've already shut down, that they've already struck the sets, and they can't come out and tell you that it's been canceled because that will mess up the viewership for the next season. Well, it's canceled. Why am I going to watch it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So they can't tell you that.
True.
So unfortunately, it is what it is. Uh, but this was a very interesting conversation of where we are and where we're going now. So next in 2 weeks we come back. We'll talk about the 60s and the 70s, and that genre in itself is a thing to behold
Yeah.
because this is where we start picking up. Jefferson's Good Times. Oh my God, just
Afros at that time.
Yeah.
Everybody was Black is Beautiful, and you saw it on TV. You saw it everywhere. So
yeah.
can't
Yeah.
wait to see that.
So we're gonna get into that. Again, Blood in the Water, the 27th and 28th.
Right?
Yeah.
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 So 3
It's at
weeks.
the end of the month. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks, you have that. We will be there. We'll be interviewing and talking to people and letting you guys see this side of the cosmic portal. Um, it's one of those things that we are fortunate and very blessed to be there. It was it's going to be a great time. We're getting a hotel room. Mark and Bonda will be there with us, and of course, some of our other friends will be there as we go into. I don't even know how to describe Blood in the Water. All I know is we're going to have a blast. We always do. We always do, and I'm excited to see who comes as what.
Yes.
Because the cosplays, and when we go to like Tidewater Comic Con and everything. Well, Tidewater Comic Con I like because that's more of a superhero con.
Right.
Galaxy Con is definitely an anime con, and every now and then you get one guy dressed up as a Klingon or a Starfleet officer, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, we'll be doing some
I
interviews there.
don't know if I agree with that. I kind of feel like
Galaxy
at
Con
Galaxy Con, it does have a lot of anime, but I know I like going because I can see, okay, I watched this one anime, I like it. Oh, this one has a superhero. I think it's a little bit across the board, where I think sometimes some of the other smaller conventions,
Well,
it's
Raleigh is more of a. You see a lot more Star Trek than you do in Richmond.
I agree.
Okay, I agree.
And then there's a lot. Well, I would say it used to be a lot more wrestling, but that's kind of died down a little bit
But they're getting old too.
at the cons because at one point they had wrestling matches
Yeah.
in a room that you can go watch them wrestle.
Late at night too.
Yeah, like Mick Foley with Judge, wrestlers that came in there. Um, they've switched away from WWE. They're more AEW now, but you get a lot of those AEW wrestlers there that you can talk to, stuff like that. So that was kind of cool because I loved who was there the last time? Mr. Orange. You had Jerry the King Lawler. You know, he was sitting there signing as well. So, and the black guy that was there. Can't even remember his name right now.
He's a black guy.
But he was there, and my brother-in-law talked to him for a few minutes. So there's some really cool wrestlers if you're into it. Rikishi's been there a few times, and he's always
Hardys.
the Hardys. Yep. So
Yeah, I saw Jeff Hardy, and then his brother was going to be there, and I was like, Jeff, man, because those were my favorite when they came out, and
right.
watching them with Christians doing ladder matches, and until ADP walked out there,
Yeah.
Dudley's was always cool, but Dudley, you just let me see them slam somebody through a table. You know what I mean? So
Get the table.
that's all you wanted to see. Yeah, Devon, get the table.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but I enjoy those times. I enjoy us doing those things, and to be at a convention and to be able to interview people, staff as well, and whatever else. Man, is just an awesome experience. So I want to thank Billy for that as we go into Blood and Water, and then of course in April we'll start pushing for the food drive for Springtime in the Shire. Yes. Yes. Marky Mark as a monk.
We'll see.
But we'll talk. Look, I'm trying to talk him into it, folks. I'm trying to talk him into it. But guys, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. And I know I wasn't been able to. There was a couple of comments that came through, and it was Rob. There was Rob. Show PBS thing. Oh, okay. Show on PBS. I'm pretty sure that's when we were talking about all the old shows on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube and Tubi, because good Lord, there was a lot of stuff on Tubi.
Yes, it is.
And then, of course, there's the OG network. Ice-T and somebody else got together and bought this network, and it's a lot of pimp films.
Really?
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Superfly and all. It's the OG network.
Did you see the
Oh my
remake
God.
of the Superfly that came out like?
Yeah, I saw it.
That wasn't bad.
I saw-
I enjoyed that.
But I think it's I you see that and you think about, I mean, we actually, well, our parents and as we got a little older, we started talking like that, but then our vocabulary started kicking in because we were getting into our own stuff and coming up with
True.
stuff. So but Rob, I want to thank you for joining in there, man, and commenting like you did. I'm sorry I couldn't see the screen because I was trying to put everything on here, but the Blerds will be back in 2 weeks. I will be doing, of course, Portal Talk tomorrow, probably live from the store as we go into that little moment. But stay with us, guys. We got more to come. And, of course, we have our Star Trek show coming up this Thursday. Vonda and I, and hopefully a couple of other people that will be able to join us. We had, a couple people couldn't join us, so I'm hoping they can make it for episodes 4 and 5, season 2, episodes 4 and 5 for our Star Trek show, and then Capes and Cases come that Saturday, right, Mark?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, all right, guys, that'll do us. Anything else?
Nope.
No, we're good.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, then. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right.